Love Marlene 411, your channel for all of the love things. And I don't know why my camera avatar is not working. It's my second time making up a stream, so you guys are just going to have to forgive me and just focusing on the message today. I'm waiting for my co-host, Miss Nexie, to click the link, but I wanted to talk about something that has been on my heart for a little bit, and I'm going to wait for my co host to talk about it. But I wanted to say, hey, everybody, and welcome to the Sip and Chat this week. Hi, Leonica. How are you doing? Welcome. I hope you're doing good. Appreciate you being here. Happy Thursday. I don't know why I can't get my avatar to show up and to turn on. I'm going to probably go out and come back. Okay, let me see if it came back on. We'll see. Hi, John. How are you doing? Welcome. I don't know why my avatar is not working. So you guys will just have to forgive me for this week's sip and chat that I can't get an avatar and it's just a black screen. I don't know why YouTube does this sometimes, but it is what it is. So this week's sip and chat is maybe a trigger warning. So I'm gonna say, trigger warning. What I talk about today may trigger some that may be going through something similar. So whatever. What is it called? Discretion is advised or something. Because I honestly I can't take it anymore, and I'm waiting for Miss Nexie so that we could really talk about some things that I'm going through, and I wanted to talk about it over here on this channel because there's so much that happens in our day-to-day life that you hold things inside, and then you get to the point where you have a breaking point, and you just shouldn't hold everything inside. It's a lot of things that we do as women or as men that's very toxic, and we have to stop. And I think having a conversation like this is going to be very helpful for not only me, because when I talk about things, I stop stressing myself out, and then at the same time I let another person who's going through something similar to me, that you don't have to do this on your own, that there's other people who go through the same things, and you shouldn't just hold everything inside. There's a lot of toxicity that happens within friendships and with family members that I wanted to talk about today, the toxicity of it all, because this channel is about trauma healing. And when you learn better, you should do better, right? Um, I come from a background where there was a lot of things that was not talked about. Like there's a lot of emotional and verbal abuse that happen. And even though I'm way past, the childhood times, but when you grew up in a certain way, there's a lot of things that you have to make sure that you check, because from your childhood or whenever whatever happened to you, if you don't resolve those issues, you're going to do some of that same scarring to other people, like your children or your spouse or other people. that are in your life that you care about, that you really do love. So, healing your inner child, healing yourself will give you not only freedom, it will give you peace, and it will put you in a position that you have to understand that it's one thing to talk about how much you love yourself, but it's a whole nother thing to act like it. Okay. So I'm going to start because I was hoping my co-host was going to pop up right away, but when she comes in, she comes in. So today I'm going to talk about what I can't take anymore, and that is um, disrespect. The disrespect that happens with relatives. Some people call it family, quote unquote. And there's so much disrespect that happens that I I literally I can't take it anymore. When people are your relatives, or some people call them family, I call them relatives. When your relatives do things to you, and it's like, I can do whatever I want, I can talk to you any way I want to, I can make demands, and then they feel like you should just get over it. And then, like, they come back and they want something from you after they disrespect you, and it's very hurtful. It's very hurtful when you bend over backwards to support people and you try your best to be there for them, which a lot of us are. When you're a good person and you're a kind person, but you just keep getting run over and backstabbed and used and abused. And I'm at the point where I just feel like cutting off everybody that is a relative, like literally just cutting off everybody, because it starts to get to be like, when somebody does something wrong, it's like they all align together, and they're like, oh, you should have, oh, and you shouldn't be upset. That's how they are. How, like, people will make excuses for other relatives, like that makes it okay. uh you're welcome, John. Thanks for being here. Hey, Realist, how are you doing? Happy Thursday. I hope everybody is good. Um, where was I? So, back to what I was talking about. I'm at a space in my life where I feel like I'm at an age where I'm I'm too grown to keep getting disrespect, and I don't know why I fall for the trap sometimes, but I do. I think it's because that's my relative, and you want to be there for them, but I understand that there are certain individuals that you just can't be there for them, because they're always going to be toxic. They're always going to be mean to you, non-supportive, judgmental, and then I find myself in this position over and over again. It's like, you do good for them, you support them, and all of those things. You do all of the things that you should do for people that you claim that you love. But when the shoe is on the other foot, and for instance, I need a little assistance, and I don't mean financial assistance. I mean, it's the emotional support. Just someone just checking in on you. Like, if you say you had a bad day, and them just saying, just listen to you, or giving you some encouragement, or saying things like, I'm here for you when you need me. Can I, what can I do to help you to make it better? And this is not just a person that it's like a passing person. It's the person, you're always there for them. You do so many things for them, support them in many aspects. You support them emotionally, financially, you're there for them. for all of their ups and all of their many lows. And sometimes you just need somebody to lean on and to encourage you. Like I've said before, it gets exhausting being the only encourager. It gets it to be exhausting to be the only person to motivate and the only person to support and the only person that pours into you is you. It gets to be very tiring, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of mistreatment, and it's not that I don't know. Oh, here's my co-host, Miss Nexie. Hi, Miss Nexie. I don't see you either. Uh, Let me know when you're there. I hope you guys can hear me. But one of the things that I wanted to say to everybody, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you are taking care of yourself, because it's so often that you neglect yourself. You neglect yourself in order to support them, and then it's like, I'm gonna let Miss Nexie talk for a little bit because I'm getting emotional.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute, Missy. Why are you getting emotional?
I'm just talking about this topic and everything.
Oh, no, 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 no. You can't do that to me, Miss Marlene. Hi, everyone. Hey, realist. So, tell me what's bothering you about this topic, Miss Marlene?
It just, Miss Nexie, it just gets exhausting when you're always there for people who are your family, quote unquote, or relatives, and like you're not a person that you ever ask for anything. You never
I
ask.
understand. Yes, and
And
that is our problem.
then when you do ask, they're like, "Oh, I'm busy. I gotta go. Oh, why do you need it now? I'll talk to you tomorrow, or I got something going on." Like they rush you to get off the phone, or make excuses and whatever it is. And it's like, wait a minute, I give you hours of my time, endlessly support you, give to you financially, and you can't give me 5 minutes?
Exactly, Miss Marlene. You know, I feel that it's because, and it happens to me a lot. Um, Not as often as it used to, but it's still happening to me. Sometimes people that I feel that this one has my back. Oh yes, this person will never, do this to me. Or this person, since I'm always been there for her or him, and they've been for me. So I trust that it will never happen. But the thing here is, Miss Marlene, that we give so much of ourselves to these people. We are always available, ready and willing, as they say, right? We don't allow them to feel the way that they make us feel sometimes. So they don't even understand, the pain or the anger or the anguish or anything else that we feel when they do not reciprocate the same things we do for them. I have a son with special needs, as you have, your child with special needs.
Yes, Miss Nex. Go ahead, Miss Nexie.
I don't trust anyone with my son. There's only a few people that I do. And most often, call in and say, I can't go in today because three people that I trust today, they were unavailable for me. And they come back the next day or whatever to apologize after I have seen it because they're so ask them for that help.
Oh,
And
hold on,
so,
Miss Nexie. Real, it says you're going in and out.
no, not again.
I hear
Oh
you
no.
now, but a
Marlene,
second ago you were. Yep,
can you now?
yep,
I'm so sorry.
yes,
Oh no. Can you hear me though?
I hear you.
Okay. What I'm saying is, they thank you. That they like this from them. You try to keep it at a minimum, the interaction with them. They talk to the rest of the family bad about you because you're not being your so-called. And for me, I don't like confrontation, so I stray away from it because I said if one day I sit down with them, that's probably going to be the end of, familial thing. That will be it. We're not going to be in each other's lives anymore. At least they won't be in mine. Restrain myself from confronting them and telling them exactly how I feel. And I think that that on itself continues to and feel it's okay for them to treat us the
Yep,
way that they do. I think that sometimes we need to sit down and discuss these topics, as and tell them exactly how they feel when they do not show up for us, one time when we have done it for them
yep,
a thousandfold.
yep. And that's how I feel. I think today was like the straw that broke the camel's back. It's like just a simple, like I just had a simple request from somebody, and they went off on me.
Oh
And
wow.
I was like, and next thing you know, because we're not just friends on social media, we're friends offline. I'm not a person that ever asks for anything.
Exactly. I know that. I know that. I know that very, very well. And again, Miss Marlene, the thing is, we allow them or allowed it to go as far as it does because we don't like to be, we don't like to confront the topic. But I feel that sometimes we have to. I was gone an entire week. I had the greatest time in my life with this kiddo. And, I am back to my normal, week. And then I called someone and asked if, they can watch my son for the next day or so. And they're like, well, I made plans and I can't this time, but try me next week. Maybe we can do it. And I'm like, so do you want me to let my employer know to wait for you until next week? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I have other options, right?
Mhm.
But the thing is, you do so much that you expect back, but you expect for them to kind of help you with so that you don't feel so stressed out leaving, your special needs loved one with somebody you don't trust or somebody they don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. For me, it was like, oh, okay, wonderful then.
Mhm. For me,
So that's how it goes.
Miss Nexie, this is something that this is the straw that broke the camel's back, and this person can never come back to me again.
Hmm.
Never.
Asking for anything,
Nope.
right?
When the next time they try to call, I'm gonna say, "Who is this?" Oh, you know who this? Oh, I was like, "I'm sorry, I gotta go."
But Miss Marlene, what happens is that after a while you stop counting with these people. You stop, you know, really having anything to do with them. And sometimes they find themselves in your shoes and they will come back and apologize because, they are walking on your shoes. And the thing is that no matter what they do afterwards, they can't come back to the relationship we had.
Miss Nexie, you're breaking up. Can you go out and come back?
Yeah, I think it's my internet for some reason has been acting up.
Mm.
And if you're hearing some noise, I'm trying to get as closer as I can to
Okay. Okay.
to the signal. I am so
No,
sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. I just thought it was me. So my thing, Miss Nexie, is that I think one of the things, the reason why I wanted to talk about this, why is like I'm done and why I've had enough, is because I know I'm not the only person that just allows things so much and it builds until it's just like you're full and you're like, I'm done. And we shouldn't get to that space to have anybody in our life that keeps doing things to us and we don't voice it and we don't do anything about it. We keep allowing more than we should.
Exactly, but again, the only way for me, it's been years of me having this peace of mind. I wasn't asking for anything. I wasn't doing anything for anyone. Remember, I told you I cut everybody off. That's it. I'm done. I don't have to deal with you guys, and you don't have to deal with me either. But after COVID, a lot of the family started coming back and trying to have a relationship with me and the kiddos, and especially with my little one. And so I kind of allowed some people back in, but then I started seeing the same pattern, Miss Marlene. Oh my God, we don't have money for this month's rent. We're missing 100. Oh my God, I couldn't pay my phone bill. We're missing. We need groceries. But I can help you if you want with your son, but right now I can't. After I have already helped them with whatever it is that they needed. So I started seeing the same pattern. And I said, you know what? I have had a peace of mind for over a decade of not been involved with them in this capacity, because I'm not saying that I wasn't seeing them at all. I was just like keeping myself away from the drama, just like in special occasions, holidays sometimes, not getting involved with the family as an every other weekend type of thing, or you know what I mean? Like I was trying to keep myself away and I was doing great for over a decade. I did. And now these things come back to surface and I'm like, they haven't changed at all. They haven't done any progress in their same attitudes, always needing, and never giving back. So I said, this time that I went away with my boy, I had a great time, and I said, I'm done. And I sent everyone a message. If you know how to count, when I get back, you don't count on me for anything whatsoever. So lose my number. I'm okay if I don't hear from you for the for the next 10 years.
Yeah. And Miss Nexie, and I think, and you know what? I'm glad that you said that. Like, lose my number, don't count on me for anything, because the problem is that they do count on us. They
Hmm.
count on us for so much, and we're there, and and you're there with them in their good times and the bad times and all the in between. And let's face it, Miss Nexie, in this life there's usually more bad things that happen than good, but
Yes.
you're there. And it's like a little small thing, like, can you just give me 5 minutes? Oh, I have to fix dinner right now and I got this going on. It's like, is it really important? Can't we talk about this tomorrow?
If I'm calling you, it is important to me.
Yeah, and I said, when you ask for my help, I don't say, "Can we talk about it tomorrow?"
Exactly. And I have had um and I question something you just said right now, because I have had this happen to me probably a couple of times in our family, that I guess somebody needs to talk or needs someone, and then I get a phone call or a text. Hey, don't answer to so and so because I guess she's going through some drama and wants to talk about it. And I'm like, what? And then I start thinking, do they do that? Yeah, do they do that to me when I call them? Like, don't answer her calls because she's going through something. And I'm like, do do I get that? Is that why people don't answer if I call them?
Wow,
do
Miss
they
Nexie,
do it to me?
that's an eye opener.
Exactly, exactly. Because I'm not that type of person, right? I'm someone that tries to solve everything on her own. Hardly ever ask for help. But sometimes you have your moments when something happened at work and you just want to talk to someone, and I'm like, oh, you're not available. Oh, okay. And then right away I call somebody else. They're not available, and I'm like, what the? When this person sent me this text, I'm like, they probably do it to me too. So
Yes, ma'am.
I,
Yes,
you know,
ma'am.
so I, for me, I have had better, outcomes with loyalty and help and trust and everything with people that are not related to me.
Hmm.
I've had friends that help me and have helped me and still help me tremendously, and they're not even blood. They're just, family by heart. And those
Hmm.
people are always there for me, for my family. And I'm thinking, what gives your blood relatives, the right to be so cruel sometimes to you?
But Miss Nexie, if we're going to be real about this topic, we have to say it all. We will say we're tired of them, but we keep taking them back,
Mm,
and we
yeah.
keep taking them back and keep taking them back. And what I think it is that we think that this time it's going to be different, that maybe they've learned, maybe they've grown up,
I'm
maybe they're
telling
not
you,
as toxic, maybe, and every time it slaps you in the face and says, "Nope, same
they
old,
still the same.
same old thing."
Exactly. And I have, again, distance myself from a lot of people, right? But I sometimes hear, through others, the dramas that are going on, and so is fighting with so, and oh my God, you won't believe how this person talked to the other. And I'm thinking, oh my God, thank God I'm not involved with these people anymore. Because for me, again, the only people that I do sometimes allow, to have their little moments and then we talk about it and fix them, it's those people I call family, real family, not just blood relatives, right? The real family. And sometimes we have our moments, and sometimes we can be a little harsh on people, and then we're like, okay, I think I did wrong here. I should have not talked to her like that, or I should have not denied her that help or whatever. But I talk to those people and clear things up because they're important to me. But those other people that I have distanced myself from, and I still hear all the drama, I'm grateful, and I thank God every day that I'm not in that circle, because they continue to use and abuse each other, and then they talk behind their back. I did her this favor the other day. Why isn't she helping me this time? Or you know what I mean? Like it's weird because as much as you don't want to hear from them, sometimes you get cut off because there's extended family.
Hmm.
But my peace of mind,
Yep.
Miss Marlene, is worth billions, billions, and billions of dollars. And my family doesn't have that, whoever blood relationer I have. So they cannot afford me. My peace of mind and my heart, my feelings, my everything is more important than their drama. So I steer away from them. I don't interact with them. And I'm okay with that because I have protected my children. I have protected my sanity. I have protected everything around me so that I don't end up the way and continue to be the way that they are. Some
Yes,
people are better
yes.
just letting go, Miss Marlene. Some people are just better, pay attention to how many times. And I'm not saying that we have to pay one another for everything we do, but if I'm helping you, I expect that if one day I need your help, I expect you to be there for me.
Yeah. Oh, hi Natalie. Hey Leonica, realist, and whoever I miss. John.
Hello, Natalie, Leonica, and Mr. Realist. And the panda still
Yes.
ticking.
And Miss Nexie, the issue honestly is like realist said in the chat. There is a difference between family and relatives,
Yes.
but it's the fact that we have to stop going back. Like,
Yep.
and I think it takes something like what I just went through for me to like, yeah, there won't be another time. There won't be another time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and you do have to get to those spaces sometimes where you're like, I'm done. I'm not going back, no matter what, no matter the apology and all of the things, and talking about fake support, and we'll get together, and they love you and things, and then it's crickets once again.
And Miss Marlene, I'm going to talk about something today that, I haven't asked my ex-husband for permission, but I'm going to say it anyway because it has to do with what we're talking about. I'll ask for forgiveness later. But when um, we had a disagreement a long time ago with someone, a member of his family, a sibling of his, I had a disagreement with this person because of the way she was treating um, someone I love. And I almost went to fists with this person, Miss Marley. Almost. I didn't, but I did tell her, you're lucky this bet is between us because I will. Anyway, so we went, through a whole ordeal, a fallout, and this was probably almost um, 12 years ago. She has made, try to make contact with me, continuously asks about me to my ex-husband, and has sent friend requests, and and so we were talking about this person, and he said, you should let it go already. It's not good to keep this kind of feelings inside of you. And then, I said, you let it go because it's convenient for you now because you're completely alone and you're okay with what this person did to the person that I love. But for me, when I make someone, when I kick them out of my life, and when I make someone a villain, I do not forgive and I do not forget. That doesn't mean I'm evil, Miss Marlene. That means that if you were capable to treat your mother like that in front of me, then you're not worthy of being in my life. So I don't care how much this person sends me friend requests. I don't care how many times this person asks about me. I don't care. I do not want this person in my life. You know what I mean?
That's clear, Miss Nexie. Certain things that you see what people will do to other people, and it offends me. And I'm like,
Yes.
it's not me, but I'm like, if you will do that to them, and that's supposed to be whatever ties they are to you, what
Oh,
are
oh,
you
oh
gonna
Miss
do to me?
Miss Marlene, hold on. Let me say this again. If you're willing to do this to your dying mother and say the things you just said to
Mm,
your dying mother, what kind of person will make me to continue my so-called familiar relationship with you because you are so and so's sister? No, I'm sorry. That
mm,
ended that day. She killed any respect I had for her. She killed any because she denied her mother her dying wish. What
mm,
kind of a human is that? So I told him, I don't care if you want to go back and kiss their tush. I don't care if you guys are singing Kumbaya all together now that you guys are making up, kissing up. No, no, that's not me. You know, it takes a lot for me to be there, to go to that place where of no return, but I do not. I do not forgive someone that vindictive, that vicious with a dying person because that person did not deserve that. She was the best mother in the world to these people. So no, I don't care. So yeah,
mm.
so that's where we're at. We were going through this time we went camping because I went, with my ex-husband. We took our son to the beach in Mexico and we had a great time. Oh, you saw, right, Miss Marlene? You saw the video?
Oh,
Sorry. I
oh,
was
oh, please. Oh, that ugly place. Yeah, I saw it.
and we were talking about all this in this trip and he keeps on telling me, oh, you gotta let it go. No, you let it go. That's you. You forgive, you forget. That's on you, buddy. But I'm not doing the same thing. She's nothing to me.
You,
The
you
day
know,
she
you
did
know,
that to her mother, she turned into nothing to me.
Miss Nexie, when people tell you things like that, like it's time for you to get over. Uh-huh. And Miss Nexie, somebody said that to me, which I thought we were close, and I thought that they cared about me. And they said, "When are you gonna get over your dad dying?"
Oh my lord. No,
And I
they
just
didn't.
stood there like I was stood there like I was frozen. I was like, I'm looking around like, did she did she just say what? And I'm like,
Miss Mar-
my ears must be clogged. I said my ears
Miss
got to be
Marlene,
clogged.
I
I shouldn't
gotta
be
read
giving.
this. Like a realist says, I'm gonna keep repeating it. It's a difference between family and relatives.
Yep.
So true. Did you slap her or
Yep.
him?
Miss Nexie, I have to say that I didn't because we were at a how could I say? We were at a religious service. So,
But the Lord says that if they slap you once, you turn the other cheek. You should have proved it to the audience.
and
I did not just
Miss
say
Nexie,
that. I did
I
not
know
just.
Miss Nexie, it's fine because I said that's the only thing that had saved them. Because I was like, I am not going to do this in God's house. I said, oh, I was like, it's time I get over it. I was like, when and how can you ever get over somebody passing away?
Exactly. And when can you get over a child saying those things to a dying mother? When? In your presence.
Never.
So for me, this woman was a second mother to me, and I loved her so much, so much. And to hear that coming out of this person, it killed me. It killed me. And again, I just had to kind of I I wanted to hit her, but there was the bed where this woman was laying on in between us. And then I got my ex-husband restraining me. No, 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 don't go there. And I'm like, this is my house. I can do it here, and I'll just call the popo and say she attacked me. So, but they
Yeah,
stopped
because
me.
you're in your house.
Exactly. But for me is the feeling that of love and caring that I had for this other woman died. And I'm someone that doesn't revive those things, especially when you have shown me what type of a person you are by saying that to your own mother.
Miss Nexie, I am so sorry that you know, I've said it before, and I will keep saying it. But certain things are malicious, like they say it to hurt you. Like, and people, oh, I didn't. There's certain things that you don't say, you know, to
Yeah,
anybody that you claim you care about. There's certain things that like people say, oh, I was just joking, and you're being sensitive. No, you crossed the line.
exactly. And that's why for me, when somebody tells me, "Oh my God, you're overreacting," really, you know me that well that you know that I am overreacting? How do you know? When have we, hung out, or when have you ever seen me in a situation like this to tell me that I'm overreacting? I'm reacting the exact way that I'm supposed to react. You're the one that is not reactive. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go and on purpose hurt people. But when people hurt me in certain ways, I'm not just going to stay quiet, because then they continue to do it because you're allowing it. And
Yeah,
for, again,
yeah.
Miss Marlene, you have to be careful, because sometimes our family sometimes makes us blur those lines of, oh, we're family, even though you know they're wrong, and you know they're taking advantage of you, and you know deep inside of you that they don't love you the way that they say they do, especially when they make excuses like, oh my God, you want to talk now? I mean, seriously, I'm like busy, and I know you have some problem, but not important enough for me to stop doing what I'm doing or give you those 5 minutes that you need. And sometimes people
Hmm.
try to make us see the good side of it. Oh, she was busy. Oh, you don't know what's going on in her life right now. What if?
Oh, you know they're going through something right now.
Hmm.
Yeah. And you're like, so is everybody on the planet.
Yeah, exactly. And so was I.
Everybody's going through something.
And so was I the day that she called me, and I had to leave. I was at my work, my job, and I had to kind of go into a secluded place so that I could hear her, whatever she was going through. I did that. I've done so many times things like that I have to take time away so that I can listen to her blabbering, whatever. But I'm there for her. And now that I needed her or him, they're not able to put up 5 minutes with me. So that should say a lot to you
Mm,
about that person.
yeah. Yeah. So that's really hurtful because yeah, it's really said, and others have said in the chat that that's not your family. Sometimes we give people that title and they work to get that claim of my family. They're a relative, and sometimes they're not even a relative, like extended relatives. They're not even I would even call a relative. They're just an associate. Like you just know of them, but you don't really know them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yes.
we have to stop expecting things because we quote unquote know them, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
And
Unfortunately,
for
Miss
me,
Marlene. Oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead, Miss Nexie.
Oh, no, no. I was gonna say real quick. Unfortunately, you and I have Sometimes, even though we know that this person is no good, we have ourselves blurred those little thoughts and those lines just because they're family and because your auntie asked you to look after them or because your mom and dad said, you got to be patient with them. Mm. Hmm.
You can't know, like your mother or your father's dying wish. Please take care of them. Anybody else
Yep. Yes, yes, yes.
who said that?
But I can try. Yeah, but I can try.
I said,
Yeah, you can't. And I'll
but I
I'll
can't
email them
promise.
from time
Nope.
to time.
Mm-mm.
Sometimes you
I'll
just have
email them, or I'll send them, or I'll send them a letter once a year. That's about all I can do.
to.
It's a stretch. You're like, oh, I'm really stretching myself thin to write this letter. Let's
Yes,
see. Okay, I'll start with hello.
yeah. Okay, 5 minutes. It took me five
Yeah,
minutes to say
it's
that. I
too
gotta go
much
now.
when you don't even know what to say. I'll start with okay, how do I say this? Okay, hello. And what else? Miss Nexie.
No, you shouldn't have to, but at the same time, there's that promise you made, right? Or that was someone special to somebody else, and you said, okay, fine, I look after them from time to time, or you know what, I had a relationship with this person's whatever, and now they want to be in my life, but I'm not in that relationship anymore. And sometimes you don't want to go there because you don't know, right?
Hmm.
But sometimes you get yourself trapped in the in between. And it has
Yep.
happened to me before. Like, and you know what, Miss Marlene? Sometimes I feel that because we like to help and we like the way it feels to make somebody else's life easier or happier, I feel that sometimes, we fail to see that this person is just not good or taking advantage of us, or this person doesn't really care, right?
And
But we just continue on until something like what happened to you today happens, and you're like, are you kidding me? I just need 5 minutes. I'm not asking you for money. I'm just, I just want to vent or whatever.
hmm and that was what really got to me, because it was like, you know those individuals that you've bent over backwards, you've done all of the things when even other people are
Mm.
new, and then these are the moments where I realize this is why nobody wants to help you. This is why you have no
Yes.
friends. This is why.
This
For
is the
for
reason
that.
why the family
Yeah.
stays away from you, or why they stopped, because you are this type of person. You just didn't want to see it. That's all. You just don't want to see it.
Yeah.
For me, it's I had someone that my son again. I put everything on him because my life revolves around that boy. And my job as a mother is to protect him, right? To take care of him and protect him. And I had a family member continuously tell me, you spoiling him. I invite you out to coffee. I have invited you out, to my house. I have invited you out camping and all these things, and you never show up. You never come. Just, just make him understand that it's okay to be out and about, or bring him and make him understand that he has to be around this loud noise that we make when we go camping with the entire family or whatever. And I'm like, make him. Why? So one day, this person said to me, because we were talking about some trip that they took, and I said, "Oh my God, I can't believe you guys went there. That is so awesome." And right away, she said, "Well, we didn't invite you because you always use the excuse about your boy." And I was like,
Oh.
"Excuse?" I said, "Excuse me, excuse about my son?" And she's like, "Yeah, everywhere I mean, I'm sorry, everywhere I have invited you, you always give me the excuse." I said, is that why the entire family is not inviting us or not saying anything? Well, we were talking, and I told them that that's pretty much your to go thing now, so that you don't have to hang out with us. I was so upset, Miss Marlene, because I
Mm.
told her, I said, "You think I'm gonna use my son as a tool that I don't have the guts to tell you if I don't want to go?" I said, "No, I have more than guts to say that to you in your face. I don't need my son to use him as a shield so that I can reject you. No," I said, "but I'm not going to put my son in harm's way or to be uncomfortable just to please you." I said, "I didn't know you thought that way about me." "Oh, no, 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 no. I'm just saying because I thought that you were using." I said, "No, you're too deep into this now. Don't backpedal. No, 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 no. I'm not going to allow you to do that." I said, "I don't use my son." I said, "But I place him as a priority in my life because his comfort means more to me than dealing with," and I said some words that I cannot repeat here because they'll close your channel. Uh, they'll
Yep.
they will penalize your channel. I said, "Yeah, that's why I keep him safe. Now, if you don't care about your children that way, then that's on you." "Oh my God, I didn't mean that, blah, 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 blah." And that was it, Miss Marlene. I never, spoke to this person. She will text me sometimes. I will ignore it, block her number a couple of times, and then I will get this random text from another, family member, and it was this person trying to contact me. "Why don't you reach to so and so? She's been trying to reach you," and I'm like, "No, no, if you don't see my son as someone
Mm.
that needs special treatment because he's special needs, then you have no special anything in my life. I'm sorry." We have family members, Miss Marlene, that lower the music if he shows up so that it doesn't bother him. We have family members that once he
Yeah.
gets there, they stop, yelling and screaming, and because they know that it bothers him. So those people are the ones that I still
Mhm.
keep in my, in my prayers and in my life. Not those that are going to tell me that I'm using my son as a shield.
Mm.
So
Oh yeah.
I'm done
Oh,
with that.
you know what, Miss Nexie, Miss Nexie, you know what I've gotten because they say that's not even your child. That's your sister.
Oh, send me the
Mm-hmm.
address. Send me the address, Miss Marlene. You don't have to say anything. Nobody's gonna know after I say this on this YouTube channel. Send me the address. They won't know it was me. Oh,
And I said, oh, it's not my kid. I said, okay. So who has to feed, clothe, shelter? So what does that make me? Oh, I didn't mean anything. Like, don't get all
oh, I hate that.
sensitive. And that is another thing that irritates me, Miss Nexie, when someone is rude to you and then they want to say
You're
you're
sensitive. Yes,
sensitive.
ma'am. Oh my God. I wouldn't, another one. I wouldn't have said anything if I would have, if I knew you were going to be this sensitive about it. Yes.
Yeah.
So, no, Miss Marlene. I made the mistake of allowing these people back after a decade of no's. And guess what? I'm done now. There will not be a third time. You know, there was a second chance, but there will not be a third chance. And for my peace of mind and my mental health and my family security is more important to me than anybody else in my life. My people is more important than that.
You know what? Miss Nexie, the thing about it that is the most hurtful is not even the fact that they don't show up for me, but it's the fact that I have that's their sister too, or their
Exactly.
cousin, or their that's the it's not just that that's now she's my daughter slash sister.
Yeah.
That's still your sister too.
Yeah.
That's still your cousin or your whatever
Yes.
person that you that's still that hasn't changed. And it's like
Because the
I
parents
think they
passed on.
feel, yeah, yeah. They're like I was like, take me out of the equation. Don't even mention me because I'm good. But what about her?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? What about her? And if you think about Miss Nexie, if we are people who quote unquote have normal thinking ability, right?
Yes.
And it's hard for us. It's hard for me. Like sometimes I have those days where I'm in the fetal
Yes.
and think about somebody who doesn't know how to process that, like if they're having a meltdown or a bad day or something. I
Yes.
attribute it to that. And I just like I was like, it's fine because they can't say I'm
Exactly.
sad, I miss mom or
Yes.
a dad, I miss whatever it is. So I just, I was like, it's okay, it's good. Sometimes I feel like I call that eating the pain
Hmm.
because, yeah,
It,
because they don't know how to handle
yeah,
it.
they don't know how to
So
process it. They don't know how
it
to
has to come out.
communicate it. They don't know how to feel. You know, most of the time, sometimes I'm a little bit too blunt with people. And, I sometimes feel like, oh my God, that didn't come out the right way, the way I said it, right? And I apologize. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way, but it's already said. I can't take it back. But my son doesn't have that ability. If he says something to you and it was too mean or too rude or too whatever, he doesn't know that that's what he did. So don't take it out on him because he doesn't have the capacity to understand that he hurt you. Or if he doesn't answer your hello, that doesn't mean he doesn't like you. That means that he doesn't like you. I'm just kidding. That means that, he doesn't feel comfortable, whatever it
No,
is.
Miss Nexie, most of the time it does.
So,
I believe that they're just that pure. They don't know how to be fake or anything. They're like, no,
yes,
I don't want to go over there. No, I don't like them. Like whatever they feel, they don't know how to be like us and be. I wouldn't say fake, but you know how like you try to make things okay. I don't want to say. They're just like, nope, I don't want to go. Nope, I don't like you. Don't touch me. Don't hug me.
and again, it's something that it's not that it's something that they learn because we taught them that. It's just that that's who they are. But for me, Miss Martin, I've had days where I'm overwhelmed. You know what I mean? Because people don't understand that
Mhm.
sometimes you just need, like you said, those 5 minutes from someone to listen to, even if it's just your blubber, if you're just blubbering, just saying whatever, because you're so overwhelmed because of the huge responsibility you have in your hands.
Mhm.
Sometimes you just need a break. Sometimes you just need someone to listen to you, even if it's something nonsensical. It doesn't matter. Sometimes you just need that person that you
Right.
thought was, that you have listened to rambling about whatever, that you have always been there for them. You need that person to listen to you for 5 minutes while you offload everything that is just killing you inside. You just need those 5 minutes. And for some people that we love and have cared for to deny us that, sometimes it's very painful. And they lose
Yep. Well,
more
Miss
than
Next.
what they're gain by doing things like that. I've had family members who post different places where they're at, and then they ask, "Why don't you travel more? You guys are always at home. Oh my God, you hardly ever go anywhere. You should travel. You should enjoy life." And I'm thinking, I have a son that I need to take care of, and that I cannot just trust anyone with, and that there's certain things he doesn't like to do. So even if I would love to go traveling around the world doing the things that I love, I can't. And it hurts when people make assumptions that, oh, you just don't like doing that anymore. It's not that I don't like, it's just that I can't anymore.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that kills me, Miss Nexie. But I am blessed that I have some people in my life that will be like, no, you go vacation, fun, go, you know,
You need a break. You, yeah,
here
you know what, Miss Marlene, you know what we
because you got to have people like.
Yes, yes. Sometimes you go crazy with the routines because your entire life is put on hold. And I'm not resenting my son or saying it's his fault, right? A lot of it is me, my unwillingness to trust people around him. They may be harmless and may be good people, but I just cannot trust them, right? That's just me. That's on me that I don't like to leave him. But what what I like that has become from our separation and everything now that his dad is retired is that I like the fact that he said, you know what? Because he used to pick him up every other weekend. He says, you know what, girl, I'm gonna do this for you. I'm not gonna pick him up every other weekend. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick him up a certain day and I'll bring him back a certain day a week from now. Get some rest. Go enjoy yourself. Go do whatever you want to do. And if you want me to keep him longer, I can do that. Because he saw
Mhm.
how tired I was of, he's been doing this for the past 2 years, I will say, 3 years. No, 2 years, 2 years. Because, our son was already like 22 when this started happening. And he's like, just go. If you want me to keep him longer, he's already older. I'm going to tell him mom is unavailable and he's going to have to learn to understand that. So I go now, Miss Marlene, and do the things that I want to do. If it's sleeping all week, going to work and coming home to sleep, or if it is taking 3 days to go down to Baja and enjoy my time with my friends, or if it is to go visit certain people, whatever it is that I do now, I do it with with peace in my mind and everything because he's with dad.
Yes.
And there's been
Mhm.
days that I say, can you keep him longer? Because I don't find myself, in the position to take him in now because I have things to do still, and he's okay with that. I don't need to be calling.
Yeah, Miss Nexie, you have those days. But Miss Nexie, sometimes the people, how can I say it in a nice way? I don't think there is a nice way to say it. When you have responsibilities with somebody who has special needs, you have those days where being around them is making you mentally unwell.
Yes. Yes.
and and you're mentally unstable. You know that
You're tired.
it is not good today. And you gotta have and talk you down off of that what do you call it, off that tightrope where you feel like you're gonna
Yes.
jump off.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. My best
yeah,
friend here. Sometimes she comes over. She's like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with you?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "How long has it been since you saw daylight?"
yeah.
Since you took a break. And I'll be like, "I'm fine. No, I'm taking this little guy with me and enjoy your day. Take a shower, do your hair, do something." You look awful.
Mhm.
I'm like, "I do? Yes, you do. I'm taking him with me. I'll bring him over tonight, okay? And if not, he'll spend the night with me. But I'll get do something with yourself.
Yeah, but you know
You
what,
look
Miss Nexie?
awful."
To I wouldn't say recant, but to in addition to that, people don't understand if they don't have that if when you have a relative or a child that has special needs, you never get there's no
Nope.
off. You're always
Yes,
on,
ma'am.
and
Even
it's
when
like
they're
I
asleep.
need you, I need you, I need you, I need you, I need you, I
Even
need you,
when they're
it's
asleep.
not like with a yes. Even because they could be as soon as they go to sleep, the next thing I need you. Yeah.
Miss Marlene, I have had to wash a certain pajama in the middle of the night because that pajama was the one that he wanted to wear that night. And I put another pajama, and that's not the one he wanted it. So I had to wash
Hmm.
it, dry it, and put it on. So this is 1 in the morning already by the time he's going to bed. And he'll be up at 6:30. There's no such a thing as I'm gonna sleep in because he stayed up late. Oh, no, 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 no. Nope.
Nope. They only really sleep 4 hours.
And going back to our topic because we got off topic, I guess.
Oh, Miss Nexley, this is the sip and chat. We're supposed to get off topic.
You know what bothers me sometimes, Miss Marlene? It has bothered me. I don't do it anymore, but it bothered me before, and it's why I rectified it. Is that sometimes I had even postponed or hung up with my dear friend because this person needed me at that moment. And I'm not talking about our special needs. I'm
Mm,
talking about our regular relatives. I have canceled appointments
okay.
that we had, lunch dates. I have canceled dinner dates with people that are always there for me, supporting me and everything, because this other person who I probably, like you, called in and said, "I need 5 minutes." And this person, I have done all this for her, and this person on this 5 minutes that I needed is not available. And I did that many a times before with people that didn't appreciate me. And it bothered me because I was like, I cancel everything for you. And right now, you cannot even allow me to talk for 5 minutes or for 10 minutes, or you cannot do this for
Yep.
me, right? It goes back
Yep.
to, the fact that we sometimes put up for way too long with people that do not have our best interests at heart. Oh, did I lose you, Miss Marlene?
Yeah. Miss
Oh,
Nexley,
I'm sorry.
that's and it's hurtful. No, that's
Okay.
okay. And it's very hurtful. Nothing we can do about it but change the behavior. And when we realize what it is, you just have to honestly, even though you feel like you're drawn into it, like I always say, it's like they bait and hook you, but then you got to just be like, nope, you got to cut the line sometimes and be like, more. And it's
Hmm.
not because you don't love them, but it's because you realize their toxicity and you love yourself
Yeah,
more.
exactly, Miss Marlene. It's sometimes you have to allow those people, I guess, to do their thing so that you can eventually open your eyes and say, you know what, I'm done. I've already given you one too many chances, and this time, this is the final one. I'm done.
That's how it goes, Miss Nexie. So I feel like this is a good space for us to stop, and next time we'll reconvene with another sip and chat topic. Think some things off my chest, and I feel like you did too.
Yep, you did, Miss Marlene, and that's what we're here for. Whatever we can do to make each other better, it's always appreciated. So as long as you're okay now,
Mhm.
and I'm okay with you being okay, then that's it. This is a great time.
Yeah, then we're
We're okay.
okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me, Miss Marlene. I really appreciate it. And it's another wonderful sip and chat. I also appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. Yes, and I appreciate everybody who was here. Thank you. Shout out to all of the mods. Shout out to all the channel members. Anybody who is here for the first time, be sure to subscribe and like. And if you're watching in the replay, leave me a comment.
Make sure you do that. Don't forget to like. Well, see you next time.
Yep. See you guys next
Bye, Miss
time.
Marlene.
Bye-bye. Bye.